So you are under Pablo, under Osman Ayariga.
Yes.
Okay. So you report to Osman
Yes.
Ayariga, who
Yes.
then reports to Pablo,
The
Jojo
minister
Pariado.
who reports
That's
to
the rank. But you are the highest on the rank. So you
Yeah.
are like, is this like a NAPCO kind of thing? National Neighbor, what was the thing? NAPCO, Nation Builders Corps.
This is a program unique of its kind. It is not like any other.
What is it? What is National Apprenticeship?
So the National Apprenticeship Program is a unique government initiative by the John Mahama-led, His Excellency John Mahama-led government. And the essence is to provide jobs for the teeming unemployed youth, bridge skills gap, and contribute to economic development. The essence is that the informal sector plays key role in any nation development. The dresses we wear are produced by people from the informal sector. You cannot have any economy run effectively if the informal sector skill sets are not productive enough. Why? Because we all came here either driving or riding. The vehicles we drive are maintained by people who are not bankers. So when you must come to the office, somebody must service the vehicle you use. So should you get a flat tire midway, it's a vulcanizer that fixes that. That vulcanizer works not within the regulated sectors where you have labor laws binding the activities. They are the informal sector people. You must have a beautiful hair to go to church. That hair is either braided by a hairdresser or your cut is done by a barber. That barber works within the informal sector. And so it goes down to even what we eat. Agricultural productivity is done generally by people from the informal sector. And so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC government recognized this very early before they coming into government, and so sought to set up a comprehensive mechanism that provides competence-based training for young people who are already talented in Ghana, who want to learn skills, but generally do not get the opportunity to learn because of the high cost of fees, which is bridging accessibility to inaccessibility because of high cost of fees. The fact that learning is not standardized, and so you might find a hairdresser learning from one part of the country, and when you move to another part, the hairstyles that are done there are not the same that are done elsewhere. And so we need standardization. There are many skill sets in this country that we import. POP, for instance, we bring them largely from Togo. We have oil industry and submerged welding, what we may call underwater welding. Most of them we import these skills, but we have talented people in Ghana that we need to groom, tap into their potential, and we can build this country together. And so that is the core of the National Apprenticeship Program. So it's a program that provides free competence-based learning for any young person aged between 15 to 40 years that is willing and available to learn or polish a skill. Through the training, the fees are paid. The apprentices get to benefit monthly stipends for transportation to keep you at work. For the first time, there's a comprehensive workplace insurance for all learners. Once it is informal sector, if you're in the welding industry, there might be accidents at workplace. We don't pay for them. But when they happen, the program has a responsibility to cater for that. So there's a comprehensive insurance for these ones. We provide the learning tools for the learners. And at the end of the program, we set you up with the basic toolkits that you need to function in your area.
So this program is not for people who are already skilled and looking for jobs. You are training people to know how to do the job. That's what you're doing.
So there are two ends to this. The first component is for people that want to learn a skill to get employed.
Mm-hmm.
The second component, which incorporates the pure learning recognition. There are many others that have gone through apprenticeship already. They have passed out operating, but they do not have any standardized certificate to show that that person is competent in a trade area. And so by virtue of that, it is difficult to get hooked onto jobs.
So an apprentice is someone who is undergoing learning, which is really what you are doing.
Yeah.
What programs do you have on your, so what kind of jobs or skills are you teaching?
So the program is divided into, it covers 9 broad areas, and under each broad area we have separate skill sets. So the first, we have agriculture and agro-processing. So under the agriculture, we have 3 subdivisions: the primary agricultural production, animal husbandry, the general agricultural production that we know. Then we have the agro-processing chain, where produce from agriculture are processed into some other usable commodities. Then we have this supporting agricultural supporting technologies, irrigation technology and what have you. Then we have the craftsmanship and artisanal trades that falls under construction and those ones. So we also have hospitality and tourism. We have fashion and textile trades. We have ICT and emerging digital trades or technologies. We also have sustainable and renewable energy that looks at solar, biogas, wind energy, because we largely have a lot of sunlight in Ghana, and so we need to be tapping into those ones. One of the most subscribed areas is cosmetology, which we are into, beauty and personal care. That is where we have the hairdressing, makeup, and those ones. So these are the 9 broad areas that the program covers for the pilot phase.
What's the duration of the training?
The duration varies. We have the short term, which is covering 2 to 4 months. We have a medium term that covers 4 to 12 months, and then the long term covers 12 to 18 months.
So it's between 2 months and 1.5 years.
Yeah,
That's what the training takes.
that's what the training
Do you have a central place you do this training, or you have masters you attach them to? How do you do it?
So the training is nationwide, because we must reach whoever wants to learn where the person is located. And so we have mastercraft persons across the country. And so far we have recruited and trained 4,057. The initial target was to train 3,000, but we have mastercrafts persons oversubscribing. And so in the last 2 weeks across the country, we did a 3-day orientation and accreditation training refresher courses for all the mastercrafts that were.
So these are going to be like the teachers of the program?
Yeah, so we've trained them into a pool of training providers. Not all are going to start at the same time. We are onboarding them as we scale up. Then in same vein,
But they are from across. They are not from one place.
across the country.
So you don't have a centralized training place.
So the training is not expected to be centralized.
So if I say in you are from Nandom. If in Nandom I applied to be a hairdresser under your program, I would be attached to a hairdresser in Nandom, or I'll be brought to work.
So there are many hairdressers in Nandom who have applied, shortlisted, trained, and given accreditation for this particular program. So if you live in Nandom and you live in Nandom, Munyipele, we assign you to a hairdresser that is closest to you in Munyipele.
Okay.
If somebody comes from Bilegang in Nandom, we assign the learner to a hairdresser closest in Bilegang.
Okay.
And of course, we have lots of mastercraft persons spread across the country.
Why do I have to go through this, your project, when already in my village, the village seamstress has been accepting people? All you need to do is buy half crate of Fanta, I think half crate of Sprite, and I think some small coins, and then they train you, then they give you scissors and sellotape, they take photo and say pour powder on you and say, yeah, you have finished. Why do I have to go through this government apprenticeship when there's already that happening informally among communities where my mother knows this person and their daughter is doing that, so I'm going to do it? For instance, my sister learned from Kwo, who used to be a kinky seller but also a tailor in the village. Why do I have to go through?
So just as you have narrated, apprenticeship is not new. Historically, apprenticeship is a fabric of the African tradition.
Which means your program is not new then. You are saying that it's a Mahama, something, and use all the nice words, but it just turns out the thing is existing that.
Nothing is new on it, but there's a difference in the nature.
So why would a GSS graduate choose to go through your apprenticeship program and not go through their local person? That's what I want to know. To go and learn fitting, for instance.
Of course, and I'm coming to give you that.
Yes.
So as I said earlier, apprenticeship is not new at all, but you would find that the traditional mechanism for apprenticeship have largely been accustomed to those who have the access to the Fanta or powder or tape measure that is required to be given to the mastercraft person to start learning. There are many out there that have talents and wish that they could have a skill learned.
So they don't have the capacity
but
to do that.
But of course, accessibility is a problem because they do not even have the basic apprenticeship fee to pay.
So does it mean you take care of that apprenticeship
So
fee?
government covers that comprehensively.
How much do you pay per apprentice?
So it varies. In Greater Accra, for instance, you would find that some shops charge as high as 5,000, some would take 3,000, depending on the location. You move to the middle belt and the cost is varying. And so comprehensively, it is not a uniform cost
So, so if I bring you a bill, you give me the money to go and pay. What if I lie to you? Is there a way you can check to see?
There are contractual arrangements. It is not as if when we come to you and you say you are taking 10 CD, we pay 10 CD. Government has an offer. And so all those that are enrolled onto the program, we have had discussions, roundtable discussions. And of course, the program is not just a money-making machinery for mastercraft persons. And true, that is why we did a comprehensive 3-day orientation and accreditation process for the mastercraft. So they understand that they are contributing their quota to nation building and developing skills for young
Let me just get a few things because we have to leave. So when you agree on the terms, you pay the mastercraft. Then the apprentice, will go and work for 2 months up to 18 months, depends on which one. You pay me allowance?
We pay the apprentices monthly allowances.
How much?
300 for now.
It is just per person. Regardless of what they are.
Regardless of what you are doing.
Starting when? When is it starting?
The program starts this month.
So if you want to enroll, what do you do? Is there a website you go to, or you go to an office, NDC office, and go and ask?
So this is not a party program. This is a national intervention.
So where do you go to register?
So there are multiple channels for this one. So we have the online onboarding mechanisms where if you go to the www.ny.nap, you will find it. If you just go to the NY portal, you will find an online application portal where you can fill completely or download the forms and complete that. We also have the manual forms that are available across the country in all NYA offices or district assemblies. You can fill the manual form and submit it at the district assembly or NYA office, and we will get that.
So what's the qualification? Anybody can join, or you have to have GSS, for instance?
Basic education is not a prerequisite.
So you just have to have an interest.
You just need to have an interest, and you must apply.
If I collect the 300 and I don't go to learn, what happens to me? Will you sack me?
There are mechanisms to check all these ones. So the program is well thought through.
Do you have district coordinators who monitor these?
We have regional coordinators across the country, and we will have district coordinators from December.
So they'll be checking whether truly the people are coming to do the apprenticeship thing or they are lying.
There's a comprehensive monitoring and evaluation system. Besides that, the application process provides for two guarantors who provide surety for the apprentice.
Oh, okay.
To ensure that the tools that we give to you, you cannot sell it.
You give tools to them?
Yes, I mentioned that earlier.
So for instance, you buy a sewing machine for me if I wanted to go and do that.
So if you have to learn, you need a sewing machine to practice with whilst you are learning. So we provide you the learning tools whilst you are learning, and at the end of the day, when you are graduating, we give you a standardized certificate.
But do you collect the sewing machine back?
No, we provide a startup kit for you.
I see.
So whilst you may have a sewing machine to start with, when you are ending, there are others that will be added to the same sewing machine for you. And again, as I said, the guarantors are to ensure that when you enroll on our program,
you run away with it.
Do not derelict. If you leave, the guarantors refund that money.
Okay. Question before we leave: how many people have you enrolled so far? Do you have that figure readily available?
Of course, the pilot phase targets 10,000, and in 4 years we are supposed to train not less than 500,000.
And how many have registered
so far? The
so
applications that have come in far exceed 115,000 apprentices and over 9,000 mastercraft applications. And as I said, we've done shortlisting, trained 4,057 so far in a national pool. We've shortlisted over 18,000 apprentices, but not all the 18,000 are starting at a go.
Where is your head office? I don't want to come and cover demonstrating unpaid allowances for hairdressers or fitters. Where's your head office?
We
Are you with the
located
NYA?
Yes.
So you operate from the NYA office?
Yes, North Kaneshi.
And you
Asuma
oh no,
Nursing
we know
Sports
where you
Complex,
are. We
of
know where.
course.
So you're assuring us that we will not hear that they have not been given the allowance. They are complaining.
This
when
is a
demonstration
comprehensive,
strike.
well thought through program.
Where's
And
the
so
money
far,
where's the money from for this? Is it part of the budget, or there's a special vehicle that is used to fund it?
So this is comprehensively government budget funded,
GOG.
and you would hear that 300 million in the first budget was allocated to this one.
Very well.
The NDC government and
300 million. You are sitting on big money. Oh. I'll come and befriend you, please. I'll add you as a friend on
vocational
Facebook.
education is expensive.
Okay.
If you hear the cost of one industrial machine, you would understand why that 300 million we may even need some more money to scale when we go to the scale up. So next year, from January, government has assured that we'll be onboarding not less than 100,000.
Okay.
And then the assurance we are giving all applicants are that if you have applied and you haven't been shortlisted for the pilot phase, you do not need to reapply.
Okay.
Applications are self-valid.
So you keep going to the pool.
It's a rolling program,
Very well.
and as and when we need to onboard new learners, we do
Nicodemus NB Dery, National
NBD.
Dery, National Coordinator, National Apprentice Program. Thank you so much for joining us on Eyewitness.
Thank you for having me.
That would be it for Eyewitness News.